hard you guys are working to, you know, really come into your role as coaches. And this is something that I really want to shed some light on. I'm not going to lie, Shannon, you have been signing so many coaches, which is incredibly awesome. And it's intimidating at the same time. So I just want to let my coaches know that, you know, Shannon wasn't doing that in the very beginning, and not everybody operates at that level, and that's perfectly okay. Like, I still don't do that. I don't. The type of people that I work with, and we're going to go into this a lot with like being authentic in your business, but the type of people that I worked with, if I were to sign them on as coaches, like as soon as they bought a challenge pack, and throw them in the Team Miracle Finders and throw them in a challenge group with people who have some emotional issues with their food. So for me to like sign them like that and be like, oh, let's start you in a coaching group and a fitness group and blah, 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 it would freak them out to where they would just give up right away. So that's not like my business style. And I just don't, and I want you guys to know, like, I've actually, and I'm only pointing this out because I've had a few of my coaches tell me like, holy crap, I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to sign. Like, I'm seeing Shannon post like, welcome 5 coaches in one day. And it's like, that is so awesome. And of course, we're happy to welcome people to the team. But I don't want you guys to feel like just because you're not signing 5 coaches in one day or whatever, that you're not, you know, making a difference in people's lives. And so that's the kind of shout out that I want to give tonight, is just to really let you know that I see all of you working hard. I see all of you like bringing ideas to the table. And I see all of you like really, I think that, you know, it takes a while to come into your role as a coach. And I see all you guys doing that. And I'm so proud of you for that. And I want you to keep going with it, because there will come a day where you are going to be signing, you know, 3 coaches in a day, or 3 coaches even in a month. And then you're going to be like, I signed 3 this month, and it's going to be freaking amazing. So thank you guys for not giving up and for working as hard as you are, because I know how hard it is to keep your head in the game. And that goes for all of the Miracle Finders. That goes for everybody, like regardless of what level you're at with your business or how many points you have or how many coaches you signed. If you guys are out there working hard, we're really noticing you, and I'm really proud of you for all that you guys are doing. So
no, I totally agree. And just to piggyback off what Laurel's saying, like, also honestly, I don't, like, if I announce multiple people at one time, it's usually people who've signed over the course of a time period, and I just announce them all at one time. So don't think like, oh man, she announced 3 people in one day, she must have just signed them. Like, sometimes I hold off announcing people for a week or 2. So it's not that I just signed all those people today and I'm announcing them, you know? And like she said, you know, I didn't start off signing people like that. I'm in the push group for June, where we are doing a challenge of signing coaches. But like Laurel said, you know, I have a different market than she has. So her process for signing coaches is a little bit different than mine. And yeah, I'm taking a big risk by signing so many coaches so quickly. And I know that a lot of them probably won't continue coaching long term. I'm probably not going to have a lot of business builders from this, but what we keep telling you guys too is it is a numbers game. So for me, the numbers game pays off in the end, is how I look at it. And so, you know, even if someone's going to do Shakeology for 3 or 4 months, I look at it as a savings opportunity for them. Mm-hmm. And just go from there with them. So, you know, I found a new strategy that works for me to help me recruit more coaches. And my speed has picked up because of that. But guys, I've gone 6 months without signing one single coach to the team, like straight. So this is not a regular thing where it's like, damn, like she's just signing coaches left and right. Like, this was a goal that I made for myself in June, and I'm pushing hard for it. Just like we set Success Club goals, or we set, you know, whatever our goals are for our workouts or our eating or whatever it is, this was a goal of mine. So I'm working very hard to achieve it. So don't, you know, if anything, use it as motivation, use it, you know, reach out to me if you have questions about what I'm doing and how you could do the same if that's something that you're looking to do. But I don't want anyone to be discouraged by what anyone else in the team is doing. So yeah, and I know what that feels like, because like looking at Jen and Lindsay and some of the people above me in my other group pages that I'm on, it can be very intimidating when I see them signing lots of coaches, or it's the 5th of the month and they're at Success Club 20. And I'm like, holy, like, dude, I'm just getting warmed up, you know, like I have 2 and they're already at 20. And I'm like, dang, you know, and so that can be intimidating. But you have to, just like we tell our challengers, you have to trust the process with your nutrition and your workouts. You have to trust the process with this business. And the further along you get, the more in the groove you get, and you start to see those long-term results. So I do have a couple shout outs that I want to do from my side. So I did sign quite a few new coaches this month, part of that challenge group. So you know, I do have a few new people that I'm excited about. And actually one of my newest coaches, Carly Gallup, she's not on the call tonight, but she already sold a challenge pack just by sharing with a friend. So she's actually at Success Club too. And so that's very exciting for her. And then Clara Bell has her own little team going, and Karen on her team is at Success Club too. And Clarabelle herself, I'm going to hold off on her points because I want to talk about a couple other people first. Claire is at Success Club 1, and Bridget is at Success Club 4, so they're off to a great start. And then Clarabelle is actually at Success Club 17. Wow. So that is freaking amazing. So add that 2 from Karen to Clarabelle 17, and that girl is at Success Club 19. Which is amazing. I think she's trying to break my record. So, Clarabelle, my record for 1 month is Success Club 26. Wow. So, if you can beat that, I might have a special little gift for you. I'm just saying. Just to throw that out there.
Yeah, and, like, I just wanted to chime in really quickly. Like, so I know that, like, some of us have, you know, Shakeology lovers who sign up as our first 2 discount coaches. And so I didn't have that luxury, and I joined the May group that I was pushing to go Emerald, which was like the Hustle and Heart group. So I signed my sister and my husband fully knowing that they were dummy accounts that I was going to have to do myself, because my husband is not a believer yet. He's getting there, but he's not there. And my sister is just one of those people who she just is skinny. So she doesn't really care about anything. So like, because of that, I just think that my goal for my groups or for myself were a little bit different, maybe because I just knew I was going to have to push that much harder to like keep that Emerald status and like make it to the Success Club party, and also get those leads. And I knew that I would lose my status if I wasn't like working my tail off. So that, I think, is why I've been pushing that hard.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's definitely paid off. And like you said, you know, you've been pushing and it shows, you know, so that's awesome. I'm so excited for Clarabelle. You know, she, in her first 3 months, she's earned Success Starters, Emerald, Success Club party. Like, that girl is just rocking it out. So I'm excited to see what's in the future for her. And she's building herself a good little team. And she's paired up with Sonia. So I know you guys are, you know, you're going to rock it out. And I've heard that y'all's little challenge group is off to a great start. I'm so excited about that. So I just love it. You guys are doing great. So yeah, so those are my shout outs. You know, I'm proud of everyone on my team. And like Laurel said, even if there's not like specific Success Club points on the board or volume on the board, I know everyone is working hard towards whatever goals they have. So I know everyone is doing, you know, working towards their goals. So keep it up, guys. Mm-hmm. Okay, so tonight we wanted to, I know last week we talked a lot about Summit, so we didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on that this week. We really wanted to talk about being authentic in your business as a coach. So Laurel, did you want to go ahead and lead off with that? I think you had a lot of great stuff about it.
Yeah, I think, you know, we kind of decided to talk about this just because a lot of, you know, what I had posted recently, you know, I'll be honest, I came into this business knowing that I struggled, you know, I've always struggled with binging and with food addiction. I mean, it's hardcore for me. And that's why I say, like, when Shannon and I talk about our different niches, that's the beautiful thing about this business is there's so many different people out there, and you got to find people like you. And for a long time, I tried really hard. Like I had talked about my binge addiction, like I talked about my food addiction and stuff before, but lately I had kind of steered away from it. And in all honesty, the reason that I steered away from talking about it is because it's a hard niche, you guys. Like people who struggle with food addiction, I know because I'm one of them. I am that stubborn challenger that everybody hates because I'm that person that it's like, oh my God, why don't you just freaking do it? Well, I'll tell you why I won't freaking do it, because my emotional issues with food run so much deeper than just like, oh, here, just drink your Shakeology and do a 30-day group and woohoo, like you're hooked. It's not that, it was not that easy for me. I am not that person. So I am truly, like I said, the challenger that everybody hates. So I didn't want to work with people like me because I was like, these people are going to be hard as hell to work with. And, like, I just want to, find people that are going to buy a challenge pack for me and do this group and be like, great. And then sign on as a coach and I'm going to build a successful business. Well, I'm not going to be able to do that with people that are, that I don't relate to because I've been trying for months and I've been hitting Success Club every month. And the coaches that I have brought in, that are working, well, all of my coaches are amazing. But, I started noticing in my business, I have had some coaches that sign up and really want to work the business and then they just don't. And I know that we all have that in our business. But I kind of realized that there's a connection there. I've been having the challengers that I have been getting have not been getting the results they want. And the coaches that I have been signing have not been working the business they wanted to. And I had to really stop and say, well, what am I doing differently now than I was a few months back? And what it was is I had started, stressing so much about like, just sign really quickly, build a business, that I said, okay, I can't work with that niche because these people are going to take forever to work with. I mean, it took me a year to lose 70 pounds and I still have 30 to go. And, I could have easily gotten that 30 pounds off, but I haven't because I struggle with food. And so I was telling myself, like, I don't want to work with people who struggle as hard as I do because they're going to just work so slowly in the business. And I had to really stop and say, oh my God, how freaking selfish of me. Because the truth is that, I signed on to this business because I want to help people. And I had to really stop and say, I need to help people like me. Authenticity is not going to reflect, just my real self. I'm not going to reach the people that I really need to reach. And so I did the post, I sucked it up and I said, oh my gosh, I'm going to do it. And so I posted it and I got like 200 and something likes and all these people commenting like, this is so inspiring. I had friends texting me, my cousin texted me, like I had people telling me like, oh my God, you're my hero. This is so inspiring. Like, this is the stuff that I love to see. And this is why I follow you because you're just so real. And that's when it was my answer. It was like the answer that I had been looking for so many months. Like, it was right in front of my face that, I can't deny the people who truly need my help. And the people who truly need my help are the binge eaters, are the people who struggle hard with food addiction. So I need to, not worry about my embarrassment about that thing that I struggle with and post about it. And I also need to recognize what it is that's holding me back and address that and be real about those things in my post when I talk about this stuff to people. And so that's when I decided today, like, after such a huge response, I said, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and just open up an ongoing group for people who struggle as hard as I do, and it's just centered around food addiction and binge eating, and it's free, completely free. And you know, that way I'm constantly working with people, and I'm really truly helping them. And in the meantime, I'm building those relationships, because I know for me, you know, being the emotional eater that I am and all that, it took me a long time to decide to sign on to coach. And part of that was like my coach, you know, working with me for so long. So I know that through this free group, I'm going to be truly helping people with what I know. And then in the long run, you know, I see vision for my business from it, which is going to be awesome. But if I guarantee like the percentage of people from this group that will decide to join this business or whatever is going to be a lot lower than the percentage of people that are in the group. And I'm perfectly okay with that, because again, I'm working with people that I really want to work with. And I'm still going to run my challenge groups. I'm still going to go for Success Club, and I'm still going to, you know, keep on working with people and share the love of Shakeology and all that. But it really just hit me that, you know, being authentic with what I know and what I've struggled with for years, that's what is going to attract people. That's what's going to, you know, draw people into me, because I'm my own business. My, you know, my personality, everything that I bring to the table, people sign on to work with me, just like people sign on to work with you guys for a certain reason. There's something about you that they're drawn to. And when I started my like page and all that, I was, you know, really open about my binging, and I had gone so long without binging and, you know, having those crazy like urges that I was really proud of that. So when they started coming back, I just kind of put those demons in the closet and said, I'm just going to pretend that they're not there. And while I was, you know, hitting Success Club and stuff every month, there was something missing in my business. And you know, it really hit me this week that it was my authenticity. And so by bringing that back, I can't even tell you guys just one day of like being so authentic and being so real about what I'm truly struggling with and what will always be a struggle for me, no matter how far I come. I feel like, you know, okay, that is why I'm here. This is, now I remember, not that I like completely forgot, but I was like kind of sticking my head in the sand on it. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is why I do what I do. This is why I quit my job. This is why I love coaching so much. Like I love reaching people. And even if it means working with a harder niche, to be honest, like now that I've gotten over that fear of like, oh, well, I'm so worried about working with people that are really hard to work with. You know, when I stopped and thought about it, I was like, really, they're not going to be that hard to work with, because they understand me and I understand them. And I can truly empathize with what they're going through. Whereas when I'm just trying to sign a bunch of people because I want to, you know, build a business and all this and that, like, I don't understand what they're going through. It's harder for me because we're not relating. And so by working with people that I truly relate to, because I'm being authentic with what I'm going through, that's when the whole business side of it just follows and the universe just gives it to you. So that, you know, that's kind of where I decided to kind of bring, thanks, Clarabelle. I decided to, you know, bring myself back into my coaching. And I can't even tell you, just like 24 hours of it, like it was like this just release of like, oh, I finally was honest about what I had been going through the past few months, and it felt amazing. And then just the response from it, like, I can't even tell you guys how incredibly amazing I feel from like people just responding to me saying like, oh my gosh, you're so amazing. I love seeing this. Like, please keep these posts coming. Like, it's empowering. It makes me want to keep on posting stuff like that so that people can see like the real me and see what I'm struggling with. And then B, it like reignited my fire to stick with, you know, what I'm doing to get the results and really, really help these people and show them that like you can overcome this. Like I overcame it and you can too. I promise you that. And you know, that's what everybody's looking for. They're looking for hope. So whatever you guys are, you know, whatever your market is, whatever, and it doesn't have to be like mine is just food struggle. That's just, you know, me, but there's so many other things. It can be so many other things about you that you just have a passion about, when you talk about it, it just rolls off the tongue naturally, and you're not sitting there for hours going, oh my gosh, what am I going to post about? I don't know what to post about today. I need to find something that sounds this or feels like this or makes people go ooh or ah. Like, whatever you're real about is what's going to make people go, ooh, I like that. I want to comment on that. Like, I want to be part of that, because when they see that reality, like, it totally just, you know, it radiates off your posts when you're real. And so that's when people are going to come to you and say, okay, you know, I want to do this with you. And so I already know that, you know, the past couple months, like, I feel like it was me just trying to, like, come on guys, buy a challenge pack. I almost felt salesy in my posts, and I didn't like it. And so being real, like, that's when, you know, I mean, I've hit Success Club because I pushed for it hard. But I know that being real is when Success Club just comes to you and you don't have to chase it. And so that's what I want you guys to take away from this is, you know, when coaches say, like, oh, when you're real about it and blah, 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 like, the business just follows, it's incredibly true. And you also feel so much better about what you're doing. And you know, it reflects in your challengers and your coaches. Like, they can totally feel it coming from you, and, you know, they just feel it. I mean, it's just a universal, like, that energy thing is real. And so, you know, when you're real in your posts and you're authentic about what you're going through, whether you like it or not, and chances are, if it's something you don't like about yourself, then it's something you need to stop and look at and say, why am I running so hard from posting this? Or why am I so, like, I so don't want to talk about this. If that's going on in your head, that's when you need to sit down and say, all right, I need to face this demon, and I need to figure it out, and then I need to post it so the world knows, because it's your obligation to share it with the world so that you can truly help people.
Yeah, and Laura, I want to jump in because I think that kind of goes back to I think Bonnie Ingles' call, where she was talking about what was she talking about? I just had it. Where did it go? She was talking about, it was like the same thing, like, oh, posting about objections. So like, you know, when you get that objection that you're like, that's the objection I overcame, you know, like, you get that price objection, or you get that I'm too busy objection. If those are the things that just, like, really grind at you, that you're like, that's bullshit, like, I overcame that, you can overcome that, then that's your niche. Those are the people you need to be reaching out to. You know, when you have, like, for me, those are the ones that speak to me, the money and the time, because I'm like, no, dude, don't tell me you're too busy. I'll show you busy. You know, don't tell me you don't have enough money, because I know you just got a manicure, and I know you went to Starbucks 6 times this week, you know? So, like, I know how to overcome those. So, like, those are the topics, like Laurel's saying, like, those are the ones that if you're authentic about that, and my hubby said no objection. I love that one. I love when they're like, let me talk to my husband, or the best, let me talk to my boyfriend. Your boyfriend? Excuse me?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, come on. He didn't even put a ring on it, and you're going to talk to him about it? Like, get out of here. I went to Jen. I was like, I'm signing you up as a coach.
Yeah, no, Dick didn't even know, A, when I signed up, and B, when I signed him up. Like, sorry about you.
Same for me. Kent got signed up whether he liked it or not.
Exactly. But anyways, so, you know, posting about that kind of stuff, maybe that's why, you know, we're all on this call. We all get it. But, like, posting about that kind of stuff, that's where you're going to find your niche. That's where you're going to find your people, is when you post about this stuff that really hits home with you. Like Laura was saying, that stuff that you're like, that is really grinding at you, or really gets under your skin, or even stuff that you're running from. Like, I know when I was promoting for the 21 Day Fix Extreme, I did a thing about, you know, I don't know, I posted about coffee or something, or, you know, like I would post like, oh, today wasn't a great day, I did this or did that. And those were the posts that I would get the most response on, when I would say my challenges or what I had to overcome. That's what people want. They want the authenticity. They don't want to follow someone who's perfect. Think about, would you want to be with a team or a coach of someone who's perfect, like perfect little Barbie doll who doesn't ever have to watch what they no Ken, no Barbie. Exactly, Antoinette. Like, we don't want your freaking little Barbie doll up there telling me to work out and eat right and everything will be fine. Like, no. I want someone who's down on the ground, struggling with me, sweating right beside me. So when you point that out to people, they relate to you. And so finding that niche, if it's busy moms, if it's stay-at-home moms, if it's working moms, if it's not moms, whatever it is, if it's, single ladies doing their thing, whatever it is, then find that group. Laurel has a tough market, but she's hitting it hard. And she has a great following. So it's going to pay off for her. And so each of you, this is where it's really going to come down to you finding your niche market. What is your area? And really honing in on that. Insurance professionals with drinking habits. That's very specific. I like where you're going. But that really is a thing. Pole dancing MBA students who work from home.
Again, and I just want to tell you guys.
I love how specific we're getting. But that's true. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. It's like, get very specific. Like, I
just want to tell you guys too.
Go ahead. Oh, Laurel. Is Laurel frozen?
Oh, I was just going to say, like, when you said I have a great following, the past couple months, I haven't, like, my page has kind of stayed at a steady pace with the amount of likes that I have and the numbers that I have and stuff. And I do just want to say, since I decided to do that post and be really real about it, I made that post and I've gone up 30 likes in one day, and that was not a sponsored post. Like, I didn't sponsor that at all. That was just other people seeing that their friends had liked that post and they went and liked it, and it wasn't even sponsored at all. So it really spoke volumes to me about, like, oh wow, all I had to do was just be real, and I didn't even have to pay for a freaking boost. Like, people just came running to it. So that really, like I said, that really spoke to me. Like, holy crap, that's pretty cool that I went up 30 likes in one day just from being real about myself.
Yeah. And so that is, there is an actual exercise, and I always say I'm going to do it, and I have yet to do it. So I really am one day. Uh-oh, you guys are all frozen. I'll wait for you guys to come back. The meeting's probably going to close.
But yeah. Oh, I went up 46 likes. Woo! So yeah, that's just, I guess, I don't know what Shannon was getting at, but
sorry, no.
Okay. I was like, what did I say else that I didn't have planned to say?
Oh no, sorry. The exercise I was talking about is where you actually sit down and, like, go on PicMonkey and make up, like, a actual person of, like, your ideal market. So you even, like, find a picture on Google of someone, or Pinterest or whatever, of, like, your ideal customer market, and, like, where this person lives, the age range, what she does for a living, how many kids she has, if it's a boy or a girl, whatever, all that kind of stuff, down to, like, what she needs help with, what her daily schedule is like, all that kind of stuff, and make it super specific. And that way, whenever you are posting, you can kind of get that vision in your head, and you name the person and everything. So you say, like, okay, I'm posting to Kaylee. And you say, like, what would Kaylee want to see if I was posting? What would reach Kaylee? And so then you make your Facebook post of whatever thing you're posting about reach that specific person that you've made in your mind. And you actually, like, physically make it on PicMonkey, and then you can, like, put it somewhere on your computer, print it out, whatever you need to do to remind yourself, like, this is who I'm trying to reach. This is the person who needs my help. And then that way, every time you post, you have that ready to go for inspiration. So I encourage all of you to do that. I need to do that myself because I do get sidetracked, just like Laurel was saying. Even though we still hit our goals, we could be a lot more efficient in it and have a much more direct market that we're looking at.
And speaking of, having that dream team or whatever, one more thing that I wanted to share about, the authenticity. When I made that post and then I decided to do that group, I don't know if I probably mentioned it a few months back, but I had a girl who I was working with where I really wanted to sign her as a coach because I had her on my dream team. I've known this girl for years and I just know that she would make an amazing coach. She has an incredible transformation story. She's lost over 100 pounds and she was like hooked on coaching. And she was one of those ones who was like, oh, let me ask my boyfriend. And he said, no, it's a scam. He won't let her do it. Well, I just said, okay, I'm going to open up this free food addiction group. And she ended up messaging me and said, like, would you mind if I joined your free group? And I was like, well, yeah. And when she first asked me, it was so funny because I'm thinking, well, geez, she's lost all the weight, blah, blah, blah. Why would she want to join this group? She's already lost the weight. And then I'm like, duh, Laurel, you always talk about how you've lost the weight and you still struggle. Well, obviously this girl who used to be 100 pounds overweight, and she must still struggle. Well, she ends up messaging me again, like, dude, I just struggle so hard with binging still to this day, like blah, blah, blah. Like the food addiction is real. And I thought, man, how silly of me to be so focused on like, oh, I got to sign her, that I didn't even stop to think, God, this girl, like she still struggles hard. And so now it's like, she's kind of back into, my little radar and all that. And, but I'm really looking forward to just working with her and, like facing those demons with people where we really focus on like dealing with the emotional side of food addiction. But anyway, it really spoke to me about, again, being so authentic that even those people that you think that are just not ever going to do it or anything, when you get real, you never know who's going to come back around. And you never know what's going to make people open up. Because I had been talking to this girl forever, and I honestly had no idea that she still struggled so hard with food addiction. But then just that one post made her come to me and say, I'm struggling really bad with it. And it may not show in my weight, but it's there in my mind. And so, really being real really opens up those real conversations. And that's what brings, the beauty to your business. That's what makes you love being a coach. That's when all the stress of all the like comparison with everybody else and blah, 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 and all that just kind of melts away because you're just being so real and you're connecting with other people on a level that you guys can both understand.
Yeah, I think that's very true. That's a good point, Laurel. So yeah, I think what it comes down to is, like we always say, be willing to help people no matter what, and just keep reaching out, keep doing those follow-ups, and really put yourself out there. I saw this quote the other day. I'm going to post it in our group too, but it says, always help someone. You might be the only one that does. So I think that's so true, especially in our business. Like you never know. You might be the only person, even if you don't know you're helping them, just by posting your story, you're helping somebody. So if someone reaches out to you, even if they don't ever buy a freaking thing, like we need to always be thinking, we need to always help someone because we might be that only person that ever helps them in any way. So any guidance we can give, any support, even just, I have people that I just randomly check in on, like, hey, how's this going? Or how's your mom? Or whatever. And just any help that we can provide. So those are the things, like Laurel said, that's where the heart of this business comes in. That's when your heart grows and you really find your calling. So I just wanted to end it on that, and I am going to post it. It's such a pretty little quote someone posted in another group that I'm in. So I thought it was beautiful. But anyone have anything to share before we wrap it up?
That's good.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for the great call tonight. And I'm so glad you guys all made it on. Can't wait to talk next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.